control the center of the ring. If Crawford is allowed to control the center, he'll win.
Far apart, Canelo's too big. No, we're not going to see what y'all think we're going to see. We're going to see a chess match, and a chess match that, if it's played correctly by each side, it could be very interesting. If it's played wrong by either side, the other side will dominate. That's how good this fight is.
Boxing icon Roy Jones Jr. recently made an unexpected visit to Terence Crawford's training camp, creating a lot of excitement just as Crawford gears up for his big showdown with Canelo Alvarez.
I think his size may be his best going factor, but if he goes out and boxes Bud, he's not going to beat Bud boxing. He's not. So, if Bud can take his punch, he's not going to outbox Bud. So it's like, it'll be, what would determine the fight would be who wants it most and who has the best fight plan. Because to me, I don't care what they say, if Bud can get Canelo to box him, Bud will outbox him.
So it's still a fight that you feel is competitive enough despite what happened in the Madrimov fight?
Without a question, it's competitive enough. But what he showed you in the Madrimov fight is that he can take the punch at 154. So now, can he take it at 68? Still yet to be seen.
According to insiders, Roy Jones Jr. didn't just drop in for a casual visit, he came with a mission. He shared a detailed game plan with Terence Crawford on how to beat Canelo Alvarez. With Crawford preparing to step up in weight to face one of boxing's most dangerous champions, Jones's advice is timely. He reportedly focused on key tactics like taking advantage of Canelo's slower footwork and using movement and distance to control the fight. Roy believes Crawford has what it takes to pull off a major upset.
It'll all be predicated upon how well Terence can take his punch. Yeah. And what I'm seeing is I see a hungry Crawford. A Crawford that has been looking for the opportunity for a long time, finally getting the opportunity, and really ready to grab the opportunity. And with Canelo, I see a guy who not necessarily hungry, but loves to entertain, loves to give us the big fights. Always tries to give the big fights. He finds a way to give us big fights. Not gonna always win them, but he always tries to give them to us. So he'll be a guy that, if he shows up and does the exact right thing, he can win the fight. If he don't do the right thing, which I don't see him doing, I don't know why he would at this point in his career. I don't know. It'll all be predicated upon how well Terence can take his punch.
Yeah. You said you don't think, or you don't look into the weight difference. Why?
When you know how to box, when you're as skillful as Terence Crawford is, weight don't really matter.
Terence Crawford is set to face Canelo Alvarez on September 13, 2025, in Las Vegas in what's being called one of boxing's biggest showdowns. The fight, streamed live on Netflix, will be for the undisputed super middleweight championship, including the WBA, WBC, IBF, WBO, Ring, and TBR titles. Crawford is moving up 2 weight classes and aiming to make history as the first fighter in the 4-belt era to become undisputed in 3 different divisions. He's already beaten top names like Errol Spence Jr. and Israel Madrimov. Canelo, with years of experience at 168 pounds and wins over champions like Billy Joe Saunders and Caleb Plant, brings power and veteran savvy. Crawford counters with elite skill, speed, and the ability to switch styles mid-fight. Promoted by the Saudi-backed Riyadh Season and UFC's Dana White, this clash is being billed as the fight of the century.
This fight now, but in the previous years you said it doesn't interest you because you have nothing to gain and everything to lose. If he were to beat you, how damaging would that be to the Canelo brand?
He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna be in the books of the history of boxing for sure. That's for sure.
For sure, them belts coming with me. They coming home with me.
When you say, I want Canelo, is there anybody in the camp that would say, you're not ready for this?
That's a big boy. He's strong. That's a conversation. It's not just, oh man, you'll whoop his ass.
Like, yes man type stuff.
I'm not worried about Canelo. I'm not thinking about Canelo. I'm just focused on Israel Madrimov.
In a small way, is this a stepping stone to your dream fight?
I don't look at fights as stepping stones. It's about now.
Roy Jones Jr. believes the Canelo Alvarez-Terence Crawford fight will come down to tactics, not weight. Speaking to The Ring in February, Jones said, if Canelo fights the right fight, he wins. If he makes mistakes, Crawford can beat him. Jones insists Crawford must control the center of the ring to succeed. In June, He added that Crawford's real challenge is handling Canelo's power. The weight jump itself won't decide the bout. Jones slightly favors Canelo in the early rounds, but warns that if Crawford survives the initial pressure and uses his ring smarts, he could turn the fight in his favor.
Crawford is going to fight Canelo because even if I have some doubts and misgivings about the size matchup, it is two action fighters who like to fight aggressively at times, not all the times, going against each other, and we'll see who can open the other person's tuna can, so to speak.
Never been there.
Yeah. Okay. Another fight I did want to ask you about in terms of weight classes. Canelo Alvarez potentially fighting Terence Crawford in September. That's obviously a massive weight discrepancy. What do you think of that fight and the weight discrepancy between it?
Well, the weight won't be the factor. The factor will be how Canelo chooses to make the fight. Canelo comes out and does what Canelo should do, Canelo wins the fight. Canelo comes out and does what he shouldn't do, Crawford wins the fight.
With Crawford, what are Crawford's keys to victory when you are fighting someone like Canelo, who, albeit maybe not in height, but in stature, is a much bigger man than him?
Control the center of the ring. If Crawford is allowed to control the center, he'll win.
Roy Jones Jr. compared the upcoming Canelo vs. Terence Crawford fight to a high-stakes chess match, more about brains than brute strength. He emphasized that this isn't just a slugfest, it's a mental battle where each move and counter matters. Jones pointed to Crawford's recent fight with Israil Madrimov, calling it a boring chess match, but proof of Crawford's ability to outthink his opponents. However, he cautioned Crawford not to spend the whole fight running from Canelo. If you run from a big man, you give him all the confidence. That's stupid, Jones said bluntly. To him, this fight will be won by the fighter who controls the center, uses smart timing, and stays disciplined. It's about using your mind just as much as your fists.
I don't care who you beat, the monster thing is going to always follow him.
Terence is not taking a fight in between. He's like, I'm going to move up to 168. I'm going to take my time with that. Should we expect an upset, or are we going to see what most people are expecting in that fight if it does happen?
Well, we're not going to see what most people are expecting. That's for sure. I can guarantee that, because most people are looking at the weights and saying, oh, they're too far apart. Canelo is too big. No, we're not going to see what y'all think we're going to see. We're going to see a chess match, and a chess match that, if it's played correctly by each side, it could be very interesting.
Roy Jones Jr. believes that if Terence Crawford knocks out Canelo Alvarez, it could be the perfect way to end his career on a high note. According to Jones, Crawford might choose to go after one last big fight, maybe against David Benavidez, or he might decide that beating a legend like Canelo is enough and walk away from boxing for good. Jones summed it up simply: if he beats him, maybe he goes and fights Benavidez. If he doesn't, he can say, I took the shot, I'm done. Either way, Roy sees it as a win. Taking on a challenge this big, win or lose, would earn Crawford the right to leave the sport with his legacy fully secure.
Wrong by either side, the other side would dominate. That's how good this fight is.
Let's say if Canelo wins, do you think people give Canelo credit because Bud is smaller? And if Bud wins, should he just retire and go on the sunset?
Bud definitely should retire if he wins. Canelo, no, you have unfinished business, bro. You can try to hide, you can try to run, but that monster thing, it ain't going nowhere. I'm sorry. Even if you retire the rest of your career, the monster thing is not going anywhere, because the monster was searching for you. He beat everything y'all sent at him in the process of trying to get to you. I don't care who you beat, the monster thing is going to always follow him.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there was a time where he was saying, Benavidez was saying, you know what, I got to earn that Canelo shot. He earned that shot long time ago.
Roy Jones Jr. says Terence Crawford has firmly earned his spot among the top 10 greatest boxers of all time, and when it comes to raw skill, Jones places him in the top 5. He was especially impressed by Crawford's dominant win over Errol Spence Jr., which he says showcased Crawford's unmatched technique, versatility, and ring IQ. Jones also pushed back against comparisons to fighters like Naoya Inoue, who some consider a top pound-for-pound contender. He questioned Inoue's controversial win over Nonito Donaire and said it showed flaws that Crawford simply doesn't have. Bud hasn't lost to anybody, Jones stated firmly. So don't tell me Inoue is better than Bud.
10, maybe even your top 5.
Where do you rank Terence, in your opinion?
I put him in the top 15, maybe the top 10. Because he definitely had the skill of a top 5. Just that he hasn't had the opposition that some guys were able to get. And that's not his fault. He just made one of the best fighters in his weight class look like nobody.
That's pretty damn good. Now he proved what we already thought. We just didn't see him against the best opposition near his weight class. See, this is the thing people don't understand. This is what I like about Bud. He reminds me of Roy. We ain't got to have the best opposition in our weight class. We want the best opposition near our weight class.
There's been discussion that maybe, Crawford and Inoue are going back and forth tussling for pound for pound, that maybe Inoue, because of the multiple weight divisions. You're shaking your head no. Tell me why no.
Because Inoue also, when he first moved up, he lost to Donaire. Don't forget that. Bud ain't lost nobody. Moving up or down, he moved up 3 times. He lost nobody. Don't tell me he better than Bud.